Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about fragrances that have the note of coffee in them. Coffee, latte, cappuccino, some type of caffeine note in them. And these are the type of fragrances that I've been gravitating towards lately that just give me a little extra of comfort because I've had a crazy 2 weeks, y'all, and these are just the ones that have just been doing it for me. So if you guys love you a good coffee note in your fragrances as well, then keep on watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, I talk about all things smell good. So if you're into smelling good, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are a returning viewer, hey, it is so good to see you. All right, you guys. So what inspired me to do this video, honestly, y'all, is because I am so tired. My friend's bachelorette party was last weekend, and y'all, I've just been trying to get by on as much coffee as possible. So putting some coffee in my cup as well as on my body has really been giving me an extra pep in my step. So the first fragrance that we're going to start off with is one that I pull out year after year when it gets cold out. This is super comforting, sweet, but definitely grown and sexy. And this is one from Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the only one, you guys. I think this is my second bottle of this fragrance, y'all. I can never get enough of this, y'all. And if you have this fragrance, comment down below and let me know, have you guys started to pull this out yet, or are you waiting for it to get a little bit colder where you are? So of course in this one you have that base of the coffee, but then surrounded by that coffee you have this beautiful pear note. In the base you have a little patchouli, but don't let that scare you because I really don't detect it that much. And my favorite part in here is the caramel. Really, I just get a combination of the coffee mixed with that caramel, and you do get a little bit of a brightness in the opening because I think you have a little bergamot. If you need a good signature scent for the fall and the winter time, that you can wear to any type of event that you're doing, or you can wear out on a date, you can wear in the house, you can wear to bed, really. You can never go wrong with this one, you guys. This one is one of my favorites. I still haven't done my video of my top fall fragrances that I pull out year after year, whether it's new, old. I have a set of fragrances that I always have in heavy rotation when it gets cold, and this is definitely one of them. The coffee note in here is very subdued. It's not overpowering the entire fragrance. Like, you're not gonna walk around and smell like coffee beans. The caramel note is pronounced enough so that it just smooths that coffee note out, and y'all, it's just delicious. It smells delicious. My girlfriends love this on me. My husband loves when I wear this. My brother always compliments me when I hug him and I'm wearing this one too. It's just an easy reach, and if you love coffee and you don't have this in your collection, girl, you got to get your nose on this. I think it's discontinued, but it's still on some websites. I'll link it down below for you guys. But if you love you a good coffee note, this is one you definitely have to have in your collection, and pull it out right now. So once again, this is by Dolce & Gabbana, and this is the only one. When I'm in the mood to kind of make a statement and I don't want my fragrance to be super subdued and soft, I just kind of want my fragrance to be like pow and in your face, y'all, this one, you have to be in the mood for this one. And I know this is not for everyone, but for the girls who love it and the guys that love it, it's just so good. And this is one from MONTALE, and this is Intense Cafe. And this is the only time, honestly, you guys, I can wear this fragrance when it gets cold out, because otherwise it's gonna choke me out and everybody else around me. But this is just such a good rose and coffee combination, you guys. And I actually haven't sprayed this one in so long, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spritz. And this, ooh, oh my gosh, y'all, that rose, oh, it's so jammy. If you're looking for a really good, really nice projecting sillage type of fragrance that has that rose and oud combination, you have got to check this one out, you guys. I think this is one of their original fragrances. Hands down, it's meant for the cold season. I could never get away with wearing this one in the summer months because it's just way too potent and just way too thick. But you do have to get, you know, past that opening because it does pack a punch. But I think this is perfect for date night, perfect for any type of going out events. You can't go wrong with MONTALE. So if you love a good coffee fragrance and you haven't checked this one out, I would say check it out or pull it on out if you have it in your collection like me. Once again, this is Intense Cafe. Next, we have a Middle Eastern fragrance that I don't think I've worn since I got it, because I think I got it when it was starting to get a little hot out. But this is one from LATTAFA, and this is KHAMRAH, you guys. So this is the one that came out after the original KHAMRAH, which is a very sweet coffee, praline, and dates fragrance. And that one was supposed to somewhat be a dupe of Kilian's Angel Share, but I think it was a different take on it. Angel Share had more of a like booziness to it. And KHAMRAH, it smelled a little bit sweeter, I think, because of the dates that were in there, but it was still a really nice fragrance, one of my favorite fragrances. However, this one has a coffee note that's added to it, and it kind of tapered down some of that sweetness. So if the original one was doing a little too much for you, I would say check this one out. The tops on these were a little kind of all over the place. On the first one, you could barely get the top off. Whereas with this one, I think it's supposed to just like snap on, but y'all, my top doesn't even stay on with this. So yeah, they kind of went in the complete opposite direction, at least on, my bottle, but I really do enjoy this one. I don't know if I like it better than the original, but what I like about this one is that you can really wear this one in all seasons. I feel like Angel Share and the original KHAMRAH, you can only wear them when it's super, super cold out. You can probably get away with wearing this one in every season, but this is just when I want to pull it out. And honestly, I really don't get that much of a coffee note in here. I still get that praline, I still get the cinnamon and the vanilla, all those yummy notes that you get in the original one. But it seems like what that coffee note did was just kind of taper everything down. It's still a warm, sweet, spicy fragrance that does lean a little unisex, but it's just not as in your face. So if you love the original KHAMRAH and you just needed it to just be a little less sweet, I would check this one out. The original is the one I say has dates in it, and this is the one that has coffee in it. So if you like to smell like a sugary sweet latte that barely has any coffee in it, then I think you should definitely check this one out and wear it with me too this season. Once again, this is KAYALI from LATTAFA. Next we have one from KAYALI, and this is OUDGASM Cafe Oud, and this is the little mini, you guys. And I actually forgot that I had this fragrance. So this was a part of that whole OUDGASM collection that came out last fall, I think, and they came out with 4. I kind of forgot that I had this one because I was so focused on the vanilla one and the rose that came out in that whole collection. But then once I was going through my collection looking for coffee fragrances, I was like, oh my gosh, this one has, I think, a cappuccino note in here along with vanilla. Of course, you have that oud in here, and it's like a fresh and spicy take on a coffee fragrance. There's also a touch of geranium in here. Along with, I think it's cappuccino, it's not coffee, and it stays on your skin for a very long time. And I would say it's more rose geranium forward, and then once it dries down you get more of that vanilla and that coffee. I don't really get a ton of oud in here, so if you're not an oud person, I would still check this one out. This is kind of a perfect one to kind of ease your way into coffee fragrances if you're really not that big on smelling like coffee. All the notes in this one just make this a really easy to wear type of cappuccino and rose and vanilla oud type of fragrance. Yeah, so I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of this one in the fall and the winter. Once again, this is Cafe Oud from KAYALI. There was no way that I could do a coffee fragrance and not include this next one, which is like a body spray, a body mist from Bath and Body Works, you guys. And this is Coffee and Whiskey. Oh my goodness, y'all. So when this came out, this was a part of the men's collection, but all of the girlies snatched this up so quick, you guys. So of course this one smells like coffee, but then it also has this like Irish whiskey note in there that just kind of sweetens it up. And y'all, this is so sexy and just, oh, it's so nice. And by the way, to go along with all your coffee fragrances, Coffee and Whiskey, the matching body cream or lotion from Bath and Body Works, is perfect to go with any of these fragrances. It's just, oh, it's got a little depth in it. And don't think because it's targeted for the men that it smells very masculine. This is very, very unisex leaning, and I put this on. I tell my husband to wear it. I think I jacked him for this spray because originally I got this spray for him not knowing it was as good as it is. And y'all, he doesn't even know that I jacked him, but this is just a literal coffee and whiskey mix, but it's just a little sweet. So if you've never checked it out, I think they still have it online, and I think they still have it in the store. It came out in, I think, 2022. I'll link it down below wherever I can find it, but if you've never gotten a chance to get your nose on this one, this is a must-have for the fall and the winter. Once again, this is Coffee and Whiskey from Bath and Body Works. These next 2 or 3, I think, are on my perfume tray, so I'm gonna go through them very quickly, but this is one that is just a part of everybody's regimen. If you love you a good coffee scent, this is one from Replica, and this is Coffee Break. This is another one that I pull out since I've had it in my collection every single fall and every single winter. It never disappoints, and I feel like it just got sweeter and sweeter. So I've shared the story before, but when I first got it, it was way too masculine leaning, and that coffee note was way too pronounced. Like, it smelled like I had just poured a whole cup of coffee all over me, and I was just walking around with that scent. And so I wasn't really the biggest fan, but then I let it sit for a couple months, y'all, and now there's no way that I could not have this one in my collection because it has two notes that I'm a big fan of. It has, of course, that coffee in here, but then it also has lavender, which is very calming, soothing, and oh, it just smoothed out that coffee as it just sat in my collection. And now I'm so addicted to this fragrance, you guys. The touch of the tonka bean and that vanilla in here really does smooth out that coffee note too. But you would want to get your nose on this one first before just blind buying it, because it is very masculine leaning, but oh, almost like boozy type of take on a coffee. This is really a beautiful scent, but again, not gonna be for everyone, but I love it. As you see, I have the big bottle, and I haven't put that big of a dent in here because this really does pack a punch, so a little bit really does go a long way. But this is another one I like to wear to bed. I like to wear it when I'm out with my girlfriends, or if I'm mixing this one with like a vanilla scent or something like that, I'll wear it out on a date too. So looking forward to pulling this one out again and again as it gets colder and colder. Once again, this is Replica's Coffee Break. If you love black opium and you love you some vanilla, if you don't have this in your collection, girl, I need you to stop this video and go get it and just thank me when you get it. This is one of the flankers from Black Opium, and this is Black Opium Le Parfum, y'all. So the coffee in here, I mean, you can't even say it's the star of the show because there's so many vanillas in here that it just overpowers that coffee. And that's what I love about it, because it really does remind you of sipping on like a vanilla latte, where it's predominantly, you know, about the vanilla flavor because of the vanilla syrup, and then just like a touch of coffee. That's pretty much what this one is. And now that I've smelled it, I can never unsmell it, and I always have to have this one in my collection. Honestly, I think this one should have been targeted as like a vanilla fragrance with a splash of coffee, because there's like Madagascar vanilla in here, vanilla absolute, vanilla orchid, just all the vanillas that you can think of. They poured them all in here, and then they just sprinkled some other notes in here. But really, this is for all the vanilla lovers, and this is for the people that maybe didn't really like the original Black Opium because it was just too strong of a fragrance. Maybe you just had it for a long time in your collection and you were over that type of coffee. The coffee is way less detectable in this one, and it's much sweeter. So if you were looking for, again, another really sweet vanillic take on a coffee fragrance, I would check this one out. Once again, this is Black Opium's Le Parfum by YSL. Most of these fragrances that I've pulled out all have like a coffee note and a caramel note in them, and that's probably why I gravitate towards them, because it's not just coffee, it's like a sweet take on it. And this one falls right into that same category. This is a more complex coffee take on a fragrance, and this is one from Bond Number 9, and this is New York Night, you guys. And I think that this one is so classy, very pretty. The coffee is a little more pronounced in this one than it is in a few of the other fragrances, but this one also has a lot of floral notes. You have C notes in here, there's some carnation, and then of course you have a little caramel. Ooh, and this is definitely one I wear on date night, to any type of dressy event where I want to feel grown and sexy, but you know, smell a little sweet. Longevity of this one is so nice. That sillage is really, really good. I sprayed this one on my clothes. This one and Tribeca, that's probably my favorite Bond Number 9 fragrance. Both of those, the projection, the sillage is crazy. I spray them on my clothes. I put my clothes in the laundry room and I can smell them until I wash the clothes. And I love that they have that effect. If you've never tried out anything from this brand, you guys, all their fragrances smell so different. You may like detect a little something familiar in each one of them, but they have their own unique spin on all of their fragrances. And the bottles are really, really pretty. Just makes you feel very grown, very classy. And at least in my experience, I've never been disappointed with any of these fragrances. And the sandalwood in here, you guys, if you love you a good creamy sandalwood moment, you get a lot of that in the dry down of this one. Yeah, this is cozy, this is a little spicy, she's a little sweet, she's a little floral, very grown and sexy, and very perfect for the season. So I'm definitely gonna be getting a lot more use out of this one now that it's starting to get cold out. Once again, this is New York Nights from Bond number 9. And last but not least, you guys, this one is on my perfume tray this month, and I cannot stop grabbing this one. It's so soft and comforting, probably the softest one on the list that I've talked about today. But y'all, when I run out of this, I'm going to get another bottle because this is so nice. This is one from Skylar, and this is Vanilla Sky, you guys. And since I've had this, that juice, I mean, when I see my vanilla fragrances get deeper and darker, I just know it's gonna get better and better. So this one is very soft, smells very sweet, delicate, and super, super feminine. So in this one, you don't have a coffee note, you have a cappuccino note along with caramel and along with vanilla. And honestly, that's mainly all the notes that I get. I mean, you have some cinnamon in here. I think there's some orange, you maybe have a little sandalwood, but this is mainly about the cappuccino, that vanilla, and that caramel mix. And it just smells so good when you smell it. I feel like you can never overspray this one. I mean, I took a shower last night and I put this on and I probably sprayed myself like 10 times and I wasn't like choking. It wasn't, you know, too much for anyone in the room. It just smells so good and soft. So imagine you're drinking a vanilla latte and then you get like an extra pump of caramel sauce and then you get a little caramel drizzle on the top as well. That's what this one smells like. So if you don't mind smelling like that, I would definitely say get your nose on this one. The cappuccino is just perfectly done in here. Don't let it scare you at all. This would be another one I would suggest if you're just getting into coffee fragrances again. This one more so over the other one because this one is just very smooth, very cozy, and cannot wait to finish this one up and get a new one. So once again, this is Skylar's Vanilla Sky. All right, you guys, so that is it. Those are all the coffee fragrances that I'm looking forward to pulling out all throughout this cold season. But I know that there are so many other fragrances, especially niche fragrances that have coffee in them. So if you guys suggest any coffee fragrances that I didn't mention on this list, drop it down below so I can go check them out. If you guys did like today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you guys like content like this, I do post at least once a week, so make sure you're subscribed. And as usual, take care of yourself. God bless you all, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.